Hey guys, welcome back to the Girl Gone London channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin. I'm an American expat who's lived in the UK for 10 years, and today I'm telling you everything I miss about America. Okay, so before I hop into it, just to let you know, I have mentioned some of these things in my Girl Gone London book, link below. I regularly am honest about the things that I miss and don't miss about America, and I think it's important because a lot of people think of living this expat life as like this huge dream, and you go to the UK and your whole life has changed and you never have any negative feelings or you never miss anything from back home because you're so enlightened. And honestly, like that, it was maybe true for the first like 2 weeks, but ever since then, I have desperately missed Cheez-Its. So the number one thing I miss about America is, and I'm sorry to say this, friendly people and outgoing people. And maybe I shouldn't say friendly people because British people are friendly once you get to know them, but I just miss this American culture of being like outgoing and friendly and talking to people in line at the grocery store and delivering bread baskets to your neighbors, which the Brits would find really strange. And just this kind of sense that, you know, even if it is kind of over the top, like we really prioritize and we really place positive values on being outwardly friendly. Whereas here, it's definitely more of a, you have to work hard to become friends with somebody, and like they're not gonna like push you off a cliff if you say something to them in line at the grocery store, but they might think that you're a little bit weird. It's just a different culture in terms of that initial spark of friendship or relationships or neighborhoodship. And I saw something the other day that like Americans were sending each other boxes of goodies for Valentine's Day and saying like, you've been heart attacked. And I was like, oh my gosh, I miss that over the top enthusiasm for just like having fun and being friendly. Like British people would probably have a heart attack on getting one of those because they wouldn't know what to do with such an open display of affection. Number two, I miss the geographical differences in the US. We have prairies, beaches, canyons, deserts, mountains, valleys, like so many things, you know, go up to Alaska, you've got tundra. And here in the UK, I mean, we're working with a much smaller country here, so it's not exactly fair to compare. But you do have some mountainous regions and you do have some coastline, but I would say that the majority of the interior of the country kind of looks a little bit the same. And I'm not saying it's not beautiful, and I'm not saying it's not luscious and green thanks to all the rain that we get here. I'm just saying you could drive from the south of England to like the north of Scotland and the vast majority will kind of look the same. And I just miss that ability to, within one country without having to kind of cross international borders, to go and explore, you know, different landscapes. And here they do that by traveling to Europe, which to be honest, sometimes is faster than, for instance, me in Florida getting a flight to California. But just for the country as a whole, I miss those geographical differences. Number three, I miss not having to talk about parking. British people love to talk about parking. They love to complain about parking because there is no parking. And when there is parking, it's usually paid for. So I'm not talking like, oh, I go into London and I have to worry about parking. Sure, you're gonna go to New York City, you're gonna go to Boston, wherever. Yes, you're gonna have to worry about parking. I'm talking about like in the middle of nowhere, just a rural town, or the town that I live in, which is like suburban. I do not live in a city. I live on the kind of outskirts of London. This is not a city. This is a place where there should be ample free parking, but there is not. You have to pay for parking at the hospital. You are literally, your limb is hanging off you and you're like, do I have money for parking? So I miss America, and especially in the suburbs, going to the mall, going to wherever, not having to think about, is there parking, where to park, how much is it gonna be, how long is my husband gonna complain that parking was this amount of money. I miss not talking about parking. Number four, I do miss some American foods and snacks, and people are like, oh, why would you miss Cheez-Its? Well, I don't know, because it's something I grew up eating and it's a comfort food, and I miss it. Other things I miss include oatmeal cream pies, goldfish, fruit gushers, even though I didn't even eat fruit gushers that much when I lived in America. Olive Garden, Outback Steakhouse, Wendy's. Oh, Frosties, that sounds really good. Steak and Shake. I could go on and on. Girl Scout cookies. I miss Girl Scout cookies. I just miss these random food items that are not gonna like be life-changing to me, but there's something that I'm used to, and you know, I have lived in the UK for 10 years. They've got their own junk food, and I just prefer the American kind. Probably because they're lacing it with so many chemicals to make you want to keep eating it that are probably banned here, but I'm sorry, I just really like goldfish. Number 5, I miss Target a lot. And it's so funny because on the Girl Gone London site, one of the first articles that took off was talking about Target in the UK and the fact that there is no Target in the UK. Now, I feel like Americans' love for Target has become a stereotype at this point. My husband definitely thinks that I don't love Target as much as I do. He just thinks that I like it because I'm supposed to say that I like it. False. I miss going up and down the clearance aisle. I miss going in and spending 3 hours in your shopping experience when you went in. For one thing, I miss the colors and how bright and how clean and just, I was gonna say beautiful, but I feel like that's a step too far. But I miss Target. They do have kind of similar, like if you go to a really big Asda, for instance, which is actually a Walmart brand. I don't know if they're owned by them right now, but Walmart, Asda is basically the Walmart of the UK. My husband is like, but we have an Asda where you can get food and some clothes and some like car accessories. And I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Target experience. So if Target could please come to the UK, I would be a very happy expat. Number 6, I miss an innovative, is that how you say it? How do they say it here? Innovative. I miss an innovative culture. And I feel like this is going to kind of come as a low blow because right now we are in a situation where the UK has actually produced one of these vaccines that are going to be used for the situation, as we'll call it. And so like there is innovation in the universities in the UK and in some companies, and so I'm not taking that away from the UK. But as a culture, let's talk about the culture of people and how they approach life. In America, there is this sense that you can be anything that you want to be, and that, you know, you can rise from poverty to become president, or you can, you know, entrepreneurship is really valued. You can start your own company. You can do things differently. And here, for multiple reasons, some of it has to do with the class system, some of it has to do with just a history that extends a lot further than America. I feel like the Brits like their tradition a lot more than Americans do, and it can be detrimental. So to give you an example, I am self-employed now. I make money through my blog and through online businesses. And when I talk to people in America about this, they're like, this is amazing, this is awesome, like this is fantastic, so happy for you. There's this sense of excitement about something that is different from the norm. Whereas here, people are, I mean, my friends and family are supportive. But if you talk to like a wider group of people, there's just a lot more like, but why? Like, why would, I don't really understand. They really like what they know. I'll give you another example. For my wedding, which was 3 years ago in the UK, we decided that we were going to basically depart from the standard British wedding formula, because there is a formula, which I'll talk about in another video, because I didn't really want the late night dancing that's really popular here, and also I wanted our wedding to be a daytime wedding and not to start at the typical like 1 o'clock. So we started at 10:30 in the morning. And like, I feel like in America, we do kind of have a little bit of a standard wedding formula as well. But when someone departs from that, you're like, oh, this is gonna be cool. I've never been to a wedding like this. Or you don't even think about it because it's just like, it's their wedding day. I'm excited to go. Whereas here, we were met with like but why are you starting at 10:30? And I'm like, well, because we want to. And they're like, but weddings start at 1. And I'm like, well, there's no rule book, I don't think. And people just couldn't wrap their head around the fact that we wanted something different. And it was an amazing day in the end, and everybody enjoyed doing it differently. But I feel like people here are just less inclined to do what they want. And they feel like that they have to follow this tradition and this formula. And that's just not me. So I miss that about America. And the last thing I miss about America, space everywhere. There is space to build, there is space to run, there is space in many people's houses, there is space in between your houses, there is space in the parking lot, there is space in your car. There is just space in most of America. Here in the UK, it's real small, and there's not that space, and parking spaces are small, cars are small, houses are small. You know, I'm not really asking for everyone to like drive a Hummer and live in like a 10,000 square foot home, but just in general, like I feel like I can breathe a lot more in America just because we have that space. And here it can feel a little claustrophobic sometimes with how tight and narrow things are. And I think that's really enchanting when you first move here. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna wander along the winding lanes and look how tiny the roads are. And isn't that a cute little house? But then you live here for 10 years and you're like, I just want to be somewhere in my house where I cannot hear my husband talking quietly on the phone, which is basically impossible in my small house. And I just want to park in a parking spot without stressing out like I'm taking my driver's test every time because there is no space. I just miss space. And yes, it's going to be different in America based on where you live, cities or otherwise, but in general, like America's got a lot more space and I do really miss that. Okay, that takes us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this list of things I miss about America. What do you think you might miss about America? If you moved abroad or if you are an expat, what do you miss about your home country? Please make sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned for more videos. I post on Mondays and Thursdays. Of course, as always, you are very welcome to join the Facebook group, which link in the description below, or check out the Girl Gone London website where I've got more information about expat life, life in the UK, and traveling here if you just want to check it out for a couple of weeks. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.